Okay, in this second part of the lesson on linear functions, we have to go through the objectives. Okay. For the second part of this week's lesson on linear functions, we have to go through the objectives for today. And today, we're going to be looking at finding the x and y intercepts. So this fill in here is the word intercepts. And interpret their meaning in real-world situations. Use x and y intercepts to, and here it says graph lines. So we're still talking about graphing like we were yesterday. However, this time we're graphing using an x-intercept and a y-intercept. Well, what is a y-intercept? The y-intercept is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. What that means is when you have a coordinate plane, here's your y-axis, here's your x-axis. When you have a line that's coming down, I don't know, let's just call this our line. There's only one place that this crosses the y line or the y-axis, and it's right here at this point. That place where the line crosses the y line, at that point is your y-intercept. It's where it intercepts each other, the axis and the line that you have graphed. Likewise, the x-axis is the x-intercept is the exact same thing. It's the x-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects at the x-axis. This is point. Y-axis, the y-intercept is where your line actually crosses the y-axis. However, the x-intercept, I'm going to mark this one in red, is where that same line crosses the x-axis. So here's the x-intercept, and here's the y-intercept. Okay, moving on. The blank intercept is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. So that's the y-intercept. That's what we were talking about right here. Here, the y-intercept is -20 because that's the number associated with that spot on the y-axis. The x-coordinate of this point is always what? Well, here it's always 0. This is something for you to learn. So wherever this y line crosses the x-axis, they meet at 0, 0, the origin. So wherever you cross on the y line, you're always going to be at 0 for your x-coordinate. Likewise, the x-intercept is where the x-coordinate of the point is the x-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis we talked about. This graph here shows negative, so it's going down. So actually it's -120. However, as this line goes up to the positive right here, the x-axis is right here, we can see that the x-intercept, the point where the graph intersects this x-axis is at 4. And the y-coordinate, so your x would be 4, your y-coordinate is always going to be 0. So the point of that screen is this: wherever your y-intercept is, that's the coordinate for y, and your x is 0. But wherever your x-intercept is, that's your point for x, and your y-coordinate is 0. So the example here says find the x and the y intercepts. Well, as I'm looking, here's my y and here's my x. The graph intersects the y-axis, so this is the y-axis, at what? Well, this is 0, we go up to 1. But we have not moved on our x-axis, so our x is still 0. And our y-intercept is positive 1. The y-intercept here is positive 1. The graph intersects the x-axis, so let's go along the x-axis. I see it intersects right here at negative 2. And remember, your y, associated y coordinate, is always going to be 0. So the x-intercept here is negative 2. Continuing on. So if you're given an equation written in standard form, remember that's ax plus by equals c. So here we have 5x minus 2y equals 10. That's matching and in proper standard form. You can find the x-intercept by substituting y with 0, and then you solve for x. So what we did here is where you see the y, you're going to put in 0. When you have 0 in for y, you'll find the x value. When you have 0 in for x, you'll find the y value. That's what we're working toward. So here they put 2y, instead it's 2 times 0. Well, 2 times 0 is 0 anyway. So we have 5x minus 0 equals 10. This is really nothing, so we can say 5x equals 10. Because 5 and x are being multiplied by each other, we use inverse operation. And we cancel those out, we divide. And then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the x-intercept is 2. The way that would look in points is you would write 2 and 0. This is your x and this is your y. Similarly over here, you're going to substitute x with 0. So here we have 5 times 0 is 0, minus 2y equals 10. Remember, the sign always goes in front of your term. So if I have minus 2y, I'm going to divide by minus 2 on both sides. Those cancel out. Y equals 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Therefore, my y-intercept is negative 5. Same thing here. Can you do this on your own? Find the x and y-intercepts. Well, the graph intersects the y-axis at, here's my y-axis, 1, 2, and 3. I'm not all the way quite to 4. Remember that's your y-axis, but this is your x-coordinate and your y. So although your y-coordinate is 3, that's your intercept, your x, remember, is going to be 0 when we're talking about intercepts. And the graph intersects at the x-axis over here. Here's 0, so we go backwards 1, backwards 2, that's negative 2, and our y is 0. So our x-intercept is negative 2. Take a moment to go ahead and fill these out and see if you get them correct. You can pause the video or stop it. I'll probably put a quick break in here for you. And then let's see how you did. Try to get these two numbers down here.